Francesco Bagnaia walked into the Le Mans press room on Sunday and quietly buried the philosophy that made him a two-time world champion. He did not mean to. He did it through a single line that travelled through the news cycle as a quotable bit of frustration. But once you read that line properly, it stops being a quote and becomes an admission. The defending champion just told you he is no longer racing like one. So how did the rider who built 2 MotoGP titles on relentless consistency end up announcing he is willing to throw races away? And what does it actually mean for the rest of his year at Ducati? Let's start with what happened on track, because the surface story is real before the deeper story arrives. Pole position on Saturday, second in the sprint, behind Jorge Martin. The most promising weekend Bagnaia had produced all season. The first time he had genuinely looked like the rider who won 25 Grand Prix races between 2022 and 2024. Sunday, poor launch from pole, recovery to second behind Bezzecchi, a pass on Acosta. The podium was there, past the halfway mark, at turn 3, second place, in clean dry conditions on a circuit he has won at twice. The front end gave up and he was in the gravel. Third retirement in 5 rounds, 9th in the championship, 4th among 6 Ducati riders. But here is the first thing that does not match the surface story. Bagnaia confirmed afterward that the crash was caused by the same technical issue that wrecked his Jerez race 2 weeks earlier. The team knows. The team is working on it. And yet, the issue resurfaced in the next race anyway. It's not human error, he said. Italian outlets have put it down to the brakes, a recurring loss of front-end confidence in the final third of races. That is not a one-off. That is a Ducati problem Ducati has not solved for Bagnaia specifically. At the same race weekend that his teammate Marc Marquez was in a Madrid operating theatre after his sprint crash. Whatever this issue is, it arrives on the side of the garage Marquez is not currently on. And it gets worse, because the pattern stretches further back than 2 races. Bagnaia ended the 2025 season with 5 consecutive Sunday retirements, the most catastrophic end to a campaign by any defending champion in modern MotoGP. The 4 rounds of 2026 before Le Mans produced no Grand Prix podium for the factory team. 3 sprint rostrums had been turned into 0 Grand Prix points across consecutive Sundays. He arrived at Le Mans with the worst start to a season he has had as a factory rider. The Saturday pace was real. The Sunday outcome was the continuation of a pattern that now stretches across 15 months. So the question Le Mans was supposed to answer was not whether Bagnaia could be fast for one weekend. It was whether he could finish a Sunday at all. And oh yeah, this is the line everyone read past. After explaining the crash, Bagnaia said this on record. If I'd been leading the championship, I definitely would have reacted differently. But today, seeing the chance to win, I went for it. As I should have. Read that twice. The reigning 2-time world champion just told you that the calculation a championship leader makes is not the calculation he is making anymore. He is no longer riding like a man defending a title. He is riding like a man chasing one good Sunday. That is not bravery. That is a quiet, public concession that the championship is no longer the frame he is operating inside. And then the part that confirmed it. Bagnaia explained how he had prepared mentally for the weekend while at home. I came to that conclusion on Sunday. I don't give a damn about anything. I'll even crash if I have to. That sentence is the inversion of everything he built his career on. Bagnaia became a double champion by finishing races, by chasing the long game points, by being the most patient man at the front. The 2022 title was won by a rider who came back from 91 points down because he did not throw weekends away. That rider just publicly committed to throwing weekends away. The philosophy did not just evolve, it was abandoned, on camera, in the most decorated factory garage in MotoGP. Let's be honest about why he had to. The numbers had already removed every other option. After Le Mans, Bagnaia is 93 points behind championship leader Marco Bezzecchi. 22 rounds in a season, 5 gone, 4 retirements across the last 7 Sunday races, counting back from Le Mans. The mathematics of a title charge stopped being plausible weeks ago. The mathematics of finishing the season as the second best Ducati stopped being plausible at Le Mans, where Alex Marquez sits ahead of him on the Gresini bike, and Digia is closing fast on Valentino Rossi's satellite Ducati. Pecco is not the lead Ducati. He is not the second Ducati. He is not even the lead satellite Ducati. He is the fourth Ducati. That is not a slump. That is a structural ranking. And the worst of it is that he set the victory target himself, knowing what the consequences would look like. People thought this was about a champion working through a rough patch. It was really about a champion who has stopped trying to be a champion in 2026 because the season made that impossible weeks ago. The crash at Le Mans was not recklessness. It was logical. If the title is out of reach, the consistency formula no longer earns him anything. The only thing left to chase is a single race win, the kind of moment Aprilia is reportedly hiring him to deliver from 2027. The deal was finalised in February at the Sepang test. The formal announcement is pending. Bagnaia is leaving Ducati at the end of this season to ride for the manufacturer that just locked out the Le Mans podium. The garage that built him is now the garage he is leaving. The bike that won him 2 titles is the bike he just publicly said he is willing to throw on the ground. The 2027 Aprilia move reframes everything else in this story. Acosta is taking his factory seat. Marquez is the present. The young rider pipeline behind them is being filled by Aldeguer moving to Valentino Rossi's satellite team. There is no seat fight Bagnaia can win at Borgo Panigale because Bagnaia has already conceded the building. So what is he actually racing for? Race wins. Highlight reel weekends. The right to walk into Aprilia in January looking like a top 3 rider rather than a fading champion. That is what "I'll crash if I have to" actually means. It is not bravado. It is positioning for the next chapter at the cost of the last 20 races of this one. The Pecco Bagnaia era at Ducati did not end at Valencia 2024 when he lost the title to Martin. It did not end the day his Aprilia move was reported in February. It ended at Le Mans 2026 when the man who built 2 championships on patience told the press room he no longer cares about anything except the next chance to win. That is not the language of a rider who still believes the season is recoverable. It is the language of a rider already mentally inside his next contract. So what does the rest of his year at Ducati actually look like now? And does the manufacturer that built him owe him anything once the rider has stopped owing them his strategy? Let us know in the comments below. And once you do that, make sure to click on the video appearing on your screen right now.